The doctrine governing a tank unit is built on two pillars: heavy armor and fire support. These units shield infantry during high-intensity assaults, using their equipment to dominate the direct fire battle. But on the front lines today, Russia is stripping those units of their defining weapon. Highly trained crews are being pushed into active combat entirely on foot, or riding motorcycles and ATVs that offer zero protection against incoming fire. This reality stands in sharp contrast to the messaging from the Kremlin. Vladimir Putin continues to praise the T-90 as the world's best tank, highlighting its ability to hit targets from 8 kilometers away with next-generation fire control systems. Despite those capabilities, commanders are parking these multi-million-dollar assets up to 20 kilometers behind the front lines, well outside the range where they could actually support an assault. Russian soldiers themselves are reporting these tactical shifts. Members of the 110th Brigade have published letters through pro-war military bloggers, labeling the decision to use tankers as standard infantry an illegal practice. To understand why a military would intentionally abandon its armor and send elite crews into the kill zone on foot, we have to examine the geometry of the ground they are forced to cross. This map illustrates the modern kill zone, a 20-kilometer gap separating Russian staging grounds from Ukrainian defensive lines. Ukraine engineered this terrain into a layered trap. The first layer uses physical obstacles to halt heavy armor before the main line. This involves minefields capable of instantly blowing out a tank's tracks, alongside anti-tank ditches and rows of concrete dragon's teeth designed to trap vehicles. The second layer is surveillance. The moment a tank is slowed by these obstacles, high-altitude reconnaissance drones identify the target and coordinate a strike. Once a target is fixed, operators dispatch FPV suicide drones. In this environment, these drones hit their mark more than 80% of the time, effectively wiping out any armor that attempts the crossing. The kill zone is a perfectly engineered tank trap. Any commander who orders heavy armor into this 20-kilometer gauntlet is essentially ordering its guaranteed destruction. This decision is driven by reality. Russia has suffered over 4,000 confirmed tank losses, exceeding the total stockpiles of almost every other nation. Those losses are unsustainable. Their manufacturing capability maxes out at 428 new tanks per year, leaving a massive deficit. To stay in the fight, the Kremlin has resorted to scavenging its old Soviet stockpiles. They are pulling T-55 tanks out of deep storage, machines that date back to the late 1950s. Crews attempt to protect these aging rust buckets by welding metal cope cages onto the turrets, hoping improvised screens will deflect an incoming drone strike. But pitting 60-year-old metal against Ukraine's $880 million Sital commercial drone network is a losing proposition. Even with modifications, these tanks are sitting ducks in the modern kill zone because the terrain is impassable and the factories cannot replace losses. Russian commanders are mathematically forced to park their tanks and save the hardware. Ukraine faces the exact same drone threat, but they have adapted the use of their Leopard 1A5 tanks to meet the challenge. Instead of traditional assaults, Ukraine uses these tanks as mobile artillery. By firing from 12 to 18 kilometers away, they can strike Russian positions while staying outside the densest FPV drone ranges. This shoot-and-scoot approach allows the crew to fire a payload and immediately relocate, preserving both the multi-million-dollar asset and the soldiers inside. This contrasts with a Russian doctrine that still prioritizes territorial pushes at all costs, regardless of the technological shifts that have made traditional armor assaults suicidal, since the tanks cannot survive the push. The crews are ordered to infiltrate the kill zones on foot. These highly trained specialists are being sent into ruinous trench networks without any of the armor they were trained to use. Most are hunted down by drones while hiding in ruined infrastructure, waiting for reinforcements that are dying in the kill zones behind them. The drone wall has inverted the value of the Russian military. For the Kremlin today, a 50-year-old piece of metal is a precious, irreplaceable asset, while the human being trained to drive it is treated as expendable.